is different. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think it's still
all I needed to learn when you asked Chuck about the dude who didn't smoke originally,
right?
That he didn't say much. When you asked him about the dude that smoked, whatever, he's like, yo, he cool as fuck, man. He cool
right,
dude.
Right.
You wasn't running it off like that, Chuck, with the other dude. You was like, yeah.
I mean,
maybe
I love him, but he's come on, Chuck. Howdy boo boo.
So Amir, Amir knew where I was going with it. You know I was there. Like, just because you a deacon and you got a bachelor degree and all of that, I'm just saying.
I agree. You know, I definitely agree. I agree about the energy piece.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think, in my opinion, I think the energy is more important than the lifestyle itself.
To a certain extent, I agree. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Absolutely.
Because we all know how powerful our thoughts are, right? We all know how powerful, and there's a book written by a dude named what's his name? Bruce Lipton, called The Biology of Belief, where he talks about how our thoughts affect physical reality.
Biology of Belief. You gotta put that to Google that.
Yeah, it's a dope read. Okay. And he talks about how our thoughts affect physical reality, right? Mm-hmm. So you got two people who look at a piece of steak differently, right? You got one person that says, "Oh, I can eat the steak, nothing's gonna happen." You got another person that says, "I'm gonna eat the steak and it's gonna clog my arteries."
Fam, I got some steaks marinating right now for me to barbecue today, and I swear to God on that, you gotta relax. But I get it though. Say bacon. I ain't eat bacon today.
Yeah, bacon.
Damn, I marinated them last night, Chuck. I got the chicken with the steak. I'm barbecue. Come on. No, because God speaks to you in signs in different ways, man. And I don't appreciate like that came out of nowhere. Just like yesterday when I said a James Baldwin quote, and Chuck was like, "Yo," because I've been looking at James. I got to read up on James Baldwin. Like, God speaks. All right, God, listen. I'm gonna chill after today, man.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. After the day,
I'm gonna relax.
No, but to kind of like so with bacon, right? So me, I don't eat pork bacon.
Yeah.
I don't eat pork at all. Like, I may slip up and eat some steak here and there, but pork is something that I won't go back to. Like, my mind won't let me even bite into a piece of pork, right? But somebody else, cool. I'm gonna have me some bacon for breakfast, because in my mind, if I decide to go ahead and do that, because in my mind, like, yo, damn, this is fucked up, man. My body's gonna react differently than the person who's okay with eating that piece of bacon. Does that make sense?
No, I do.
All right, so me eating a piece of bacon is gonna be different from the other person eating a piece of bacon, because to them, they're like, okay, this cool, I can eat this. But to me, there's gonna be a contradiction within myself. Like, damn, I know I'm not supposed to eat this, but I'm going to eat it anyway. My body's going to react differently than the person who's okay eating the bacon, right? And again, not judging them. I mean, and that's I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. That's one thing that I hate about all these health nuts out here, is that, cool, I made the switch to a vegan lifestyle. But let me go ahead and start bashing the people who still eat meat.
Oh, he's still right. Yeah, that's
like, bro, come on, like, you used to eat meat, bro. You can't. And
that's that energy part we was talking about, because you might die before the meat eating motherfucker.
Exactly.
You a dickhead. That energy shit.
And that goes to your point, what you said earlier. Like, my grandfather's gonna be 94 in May, God willing. He's been eating steak his whole entire life. Like, growing up, that's all I thought I didn't eat was steak and potatoes. This nigga's going to be 94, right? So I'm like, and that goes to your point, Pete. It's like, I think it's all in how you view health, right? I think it's all about how you interpret. I don't know, man. It's fucking weird, man. It's one of those.
I think it go beyond health, though. I think it's how you interpret just life, period, right? Like, because like you said, you can be the healthiest person on earth with a dirty spirit. You not like, nah, you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Because it's more people with dirty spirits on this earth than it is with. So you got if you're trying to lessen the evil, yeah, I'm gonna keep the bacon, smoking, eat nigga around because he positive to the community.
So mind over matter.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but it's still moderation. You still gotta have a balance.
Yeah,
it's mind over matter. It's balance. I think those are the two main key things.
Yeah.
And faith, balance, mind over matter, bro. If you could put that in your chakra and adjust those, we could win.
Yeah. That's what and Pete and you said this a lot, and for some reason just now when you said it, it had me think of Ma'at. Like that's what balance is one of the principles of Ma'at. Right? So you're right, bro. There has to be a balance. Right? Because that's how the universe works. It works through balance. Right? The sun has 12 hours, the moon has 12 hours. Mm-hmm. That's the balance. Right? Each season has 4 months or 3 months. That's the balance. Right? I mean, Pete, that's a good point, man, as far as the balance piece, man.
I'm learning as I go, bro. It's like, because I've been so, y'all know this. I talk to y'all boys, man. We done had some deep conversations. I've been so much on the depression and the dark side of it. It's like you either gonna fuck it and kill and die, or you gonna really try to balance this shit out. And it's like going back to what Amir was saying with family, and is it important to have like a strong woman and all of that? And it's like that's definitely key. And I definitely want to shout out my wife, Sade, love her to death. Like, having kids, having your wife, having a good companion, like all that shit. And still being in the way I was thinking, it was like, yo, I got to make it better for myself and them, and it goes back to what Wallow said. He said, I got 5 people that I depend on, like, fuck all what everybody else think. I got 5 people that, like, I depend on them. They depend on me. And that's what keeps me going and not thinking about worrying about what other people, because time is the real currency. It's like, that's the shit we all got to grasp. That especially I feel me, you know what I'm saying? Just to stay alive. You know what I mean? Especially during these times. It could get dark so quick. And when you already in the dark, it's just easy to stay there. Yeah. And you can't do that, because not only you going to kill yourself, you going to kill the people around you that love you, that really root for you. You know what I mean? Instead of worrying about that social network shit and not getting the likes and all that and the third, just speaking in general, it's just like a balance is fucking key, bro. That's just, and I wish. And it's like the only thing I be pissing me off, I wish we could learn this shit. I wish we could reverse and start a do-over and have what we learn now at an early age. Because despite all this racism bullshit, despite all the worldly justice ain't for us, it's just us. Despite all the shit that keep you below and keep you lower in the dirt, keep their foot on our necks. If we had that type of psyche at a young age, I think it'd definitely be different. Not saying it can't be, but just like, we would be, nigga, all right, cool. I'm my own man. I'm a king. I can still balance, nigga. We can still get it. You know what I mean? Like, I think the mindset would be different if we would know this shit at an early age. I'm went off on a tangent. I'm chilling.
No, you good. Now, I think you, but in that same scenario, you can now teach Jag and Jacob, right, and to avoid the mistakes that you made growing up.
True spell.
Right, and I think that's what you said earlier. And I think sometimes we have to go through certain experiences so we can pass on that information to our offspring. Right, okay. Like the lessons you learned growing up, you can now pass on to Jag and Jacob.
I ain't look at it like that. That's real.
I mean, so and I think that's why we go through stuff. You know, to be like, we're all teachers. On some level, we're all teachers. Right, so. Yeah. When we go through these experiences, like for example, with me, when my brain cancer, and my brain tumor experience, my mom's came down, stayed with me for 6 months. My girl, like, and it kind of goes back to your point where you're having that support and having that circle. It's like if I didn't have my mother, if I didn't have my girl, I'd be dead right now. It's my opinion. That's my opinion. Mom's came down, bro. Man, I can't even explain the impact that moms and my girl had during that entire experience. Right? Like we talk about sacrifice. She gave up 6 months of her sleeping on the couch for 6 months.
Mom Dukes,
bro. 6 months sleeping on the couch, having to drive an hour to Baltimore almost every day. Luckily, we got we got into there's like a cancer house that was like 15 minutes from the hospital. She fought tooth and nail to get into there. But before that, she was driving an hour every single day to take me to my appointment. Early, I had to be at the radiation place at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Even like 5 o'clock.
We're doing like 5 o'clock, 5:30.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, man.
So when we talk about having strong women in your corner, fuck yeah, that shit is pivotal. Matter of fact, I think that's key to us growing as men, is having a strong black woman in your corner. Whether it's your mom's, whether it's your girl, whatever the case is, having a strong black female presence in your life as a black man is highly important. And I dislike men that treat black women. So we talked about on the last episode, my stepfather abused my mother growing up, right? Yeah. So observing that experience made me appreciate women more. Because remember on the last joint I said there was two things. I had a fear, I had a fear and I had a motivation. My fear was I would turn out to be like him. My motivation was I don't want to be anything like him. And thank God that I had the motivation, thank God that the motivation was stronger than the fear. Because now I see the value of, and Pete, you talked about it, having a black woman in your life.
Right.
Right. So through my whole experience, like my girl, I was getting disability for about 3 months. Right. So I had my PTO where I was getting paid, my full-time pay. And then my disability kicked in. Mm-hmm. And then I ran out of disability. So my girl had the whole shit down for 3 months by herself. Mm-hmm. You don't know how much that ate at me on the inside.
Yeah, man, as a man, I feel you.
Yeah, because bro, she's a single mom with 3 kids, and all of a sudden,
right. But that's kind of toxic. Go ahead. You know what? We going deeper. Let me chill. All right, because that's kind of toxic within itself. But go ahead.
And I'm like, yeah, she held it down, but that shit was a struggle, right?
It was.
Your fiance's sick, right? Your fiance got brain cancer in the hospital, and now you got to take on all the bills. I mean, because the way it works now, like we got the bills separated, where I pay a portion and she pay a portion. Mm-hmm. But now, all of a sudden, you got to carry the entire weight. Mm-hmm. And as a man, and Pete, I'm pretty sure you can relate, and Amir, you too. It's like and I don't know, man. And Amir knows, kind of, and you too, like the kind of the person I am. It's like I don't want to be a burden on anybody. Right. And that's kind of how I felt. Like, although it wasn't a situation I couldn't control, but deep down inside somewhere, I felt like I was a burden to my mother, to my girl, to my family. I felt like I was being a burden. Although I consciously I knew it wasn't my fault, but somewhere as a man, like, damn, man, I can't even take care of myself. Yeah. I don't know, man. My bad.
I know what you mean. It's just, nigga, God gives his worst battles to his strongest soldiers, and everybody get different battles, bro. And I can honestly say, if I had the battle that you have, I ain't even gonna say had, because I know you're still fighting, but you're gonna come out winning this shit. I feel it might have been different for me, bro, because you strong, man, and I know I know having a support system helped the strength, but you got strength within your own self, and that's what men need to see too, bro. Like that's why having this common sense experience, it's a show, but for me it's therapy, bro. Like we kicking it, we conversating, we opening ourselves, we crack jokes, we have laugh and have fun, but we don't. It's no bias. It's no. We open our hearts up here, bro. So this is what we do. This is how we talk. So as a man, I'm telling you, like it's cool. When you got the help, you got the help. but also understand your own strength as well, bro, because you still here, man. You was potting like a few weeks later, a month later, like nigga, brain cancer